record. Turn your camera off if you don't want to be on camera, all you lovely faces. And do we have any show and tell? Anybody want to share what they did?
Well, I've got one
Shelley's
in
got one.
progress.
Okay, let me highlight you.
Oh,
And-
me? Okay. I finished both earrings
Oh,
and
nice.
I've been wearing them because they go with, I'm so glad the colors go with a lot of what I wear, like black mainly. And how easy is that, right? And, you know, I've been getting a lot of compliments and people are surprised that I made them, and they think, they say, oh my God, that looks so complicated. And so it's just kind of fun, you know, and I'm like, well, you know, once you figure it out, it's not that complicated, but it does give the impression that, you know, I've got like this skill, I guess.
Well, they're
you do.
beautiful, and you do have skill. But I wish I could use your testimony there, because I cannot tell you the people that say, oh, I want to sign up for that class, but the projects just look too hard. And it's like,
No,
it's not to say you don't struggle in the beginning, because anytime you're learning
Right.
something, there's going to be a learning curve. But boy, it's not as hard as they look, you know. But those are gorgeous on you.
I like what you were chatting with a minute ago about the gal wrapping it sideways. I kind of like that idea, and I think I might try what she did to see what happens. It's like, I don't know, it's like geometry. You just keep going, you know, in different directions and see what you come up with. So that
And there's
might be fun.
no wrong way, you know,
Right,
because
exactly.
and whatever makes you happy is the important thing. But those are really beautiful, and they're just the perfect size. They just look so gorgeous on you.
I've gotten some requests now too from for people for their birthday. They know what they want.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about making jewelry. Oh, Shireen's got something. Let me highlight her.
So Shelley inspired me to try to make earrings. And so I tried with a smaller gauge. So the silver's 22, so it's doable. It's a little harder to put the string in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh,
So I've got one of two made.
That's beautiful.
that is beautiful.
I love the design too. It's the colors and the
So the downside of going to a smaller gauge on the outside is that trying to find the spot to put the thread becomes a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
But it is doable.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I got those glasses that Carol suggested. Oh my gosh, it makes all the difference in the world.
Doesn't it though?
Especially the little, I use like 2.5 magnification, and they go over your regular glasses, and then it's got a little light. So I just didn't realize I should look for like a product that doesn't have distortion in the magnification, and that was the issue with the other thing.
And it's amazing when you can see what you can actually do, you know. I make, I think most people know, except you newbies, I make bobbin lace, which is really eye intensive. And years ago, I took a class, well, I mean, so many years ago that I hadn't been making lace very long. And they held it in a hotel room in San Diego, not a meeting room, but one of the sleeping rooms. And if you ever tried to do anything in those rooms, the lighting is just horrible to start with. And I had a teacher that, I'm not into stereotypes, but she fits the worst German stereotype you could think of. And she was not good on compliments at all. Very good on criticism, but not good on compliments. And I'm brand new to this kind of lace. And she'd come over and look at my lace and she'd go, oh, that's the worst I've ever seen. And take it out and start over. All day Monday that happened, because I had no magnification and no light. All day Tuesday, that happen. And so Tuesday night at dinner, I said to my friends, I'm going home tomorrow when we have Wednesday off. And I'm not having fun here at all because I've just been humiliated constantly for 2 days and my lace looks like crap. And, I went through the whole thing. One of the girls said, you just need magnification and light. So she said, let me lend you mine. So I thought, okay, Wednesday, I'm going to spend the entire day in my room and I'm going to redo what I should have done right on Monday and Tuesday. And I'll be able to see it. I'm not kidding you. I could make that lace. But once I could see what I was doing. So Thursday I went in, the teacher looks at it and she was visibly shocked that it had improved. I think she had written me off as hopeless totally. And she says really quietly under her breath, oh, that looks nice. And because I'm such a fill in the word, I said, say that louder so everyone in the class can hear.
Good for you. Good for you.
I'm tired of feeling like the class idiot. So I so get it. If you can't see what you're doing, you can't do it. And especially when you're doing something this tedious. So beautiful, beautiful earring. Gorgeous. Anybody else have something they want to share?
I was always thinking after I've been told even my grandmother said, lace making is not for you, crocheting is not for you, knitting is not for you. I often wonder if I'd go back now with the eyesight, so I could see, maybe I wouldn't be bad, but I do know it makes all the difference in the world in what I do when I do jewelry. Okay. Depends on how long you've been doing this, but Melinda, you might remember this was an old Mona project.
I do.
From 2018, 2017. Anyway, I found the beads and all the pieces and I thought, okay, we're putting this damn thing together. And I dug up the directions to see if I remembered correctly. Took me a whole day, by the way, to find the directions for this. It's actually turning out and I'm kind of happy.
It's beautiful.
I just have
I love
to
it.
the clasp and find the other two pieces. But yeah, it took me a whole day of going through notebooks to find directions.
Find the directions. Yeah.
I still can't read the directions, but I did look at the pictures.
Thanks, Carol. I like it. That's
Now
beautiful.
being able to see to do all the wrapping on the side, it actually went together. And I'm going, I might actually be happy with this one.
You should be. It's gorgeous. It really is pretty.
All I have to do is find a bunch of other ones and finish things now that I can see. So I thoroughly understand this can't see bit. Like I say, I'm actually seriously considering getting out the tatting and trying again. I'm not sure about the lace making, but we'll work our way past tatting and then we'll see.
Well, if you ever need help with lace making, I'm here. So
Okay, thank
Claudia
you.
has
I've
something. Let me
literally
highlight you,
start from the
Claudia.
beginning.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh.
That's beautiful. I love it.
You're muted. Isn't she muted?
yeah, you're muted, Claudia.
Unmute myself.
You did.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
It's fantastic.
Very pretty.
Oh, I'm in love.
and when did we
So
do
this
that
was
one? Was
that-
that 2 sessions ago? I mean, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it 2 or last session?
No, it's
Oh, I
more
can't
than
remember.
that.
Oh,
Was
okay. Oh,
It's
this is a good
beautiful.
control. Thank you.
You did a really nice job. Perfect.
I might have to go back and try that one again too.
Yeah.
I love yours. I think
Anybody
one of my
else?
problems is I'm tired of working in copper.
Yeah.
I need to move on to something else.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to today's project. So I'm going to spotlight myself so that I come in big, and I'm going to see, keep your fingers crossed. I'm going over to my camera. So far,
Yay.
so I tell you, I don't know. So this is what we're going to make today. I hope you're doing 2 colors because it will make your life easier. If not, just concentrate because you've only got 4 beads you have to worry about, but it is a little bit tricky. So we're gonna make this today. We'll get you going on it, and then it's just make it as long as you want. And then next week, I think either if we don't do it next week, we'll do it the last class when we got just sort of makeup stuff scheduled. We'll do the endings. Now, if you don't want to learn how to do the ending, you can purchase caps that will fit on this. And this is slightly different. Last week, Claudia showed you one that I taught her how to make. She was finishing her leather necklace, which I saw on Wednesday, and it is to die for. But this is a different technique, different one. So it'll give you another tool in your tool bag. And you do not need a bead here. I just had them sitting on the table when I was working and thought, oh, I'll just put it there. You could just wrap right to it. But this particular necklace is the one that I designed similar to our Russian leaf one that goes in the front. So I wanted something a little fancier in there because this is the front of my necklace. If you were just hooking this in the back, you don't even need the bead if you don't want it. So that's what we're going to make today. So I'm going to go over and share my screen now and go to my PowerPoint, and someplace along the line, you're going to need to thread that needle. So if it's taking you a while, and you will have to add thread on this, there's no doubt about it. So just give yourself a good arm's length so you're not going to get tangled up in it. And then let's go here. And then thread the needle, and I'll walk you through the steps, and then you should have your needle threaded, and then we'll just go back step by step. So can you all see my screen, my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, okay. You can see the first slide. Where's the? Okay. Oh, okay. So I use two colors, and we will refer to them as A and B. And so that you sort of understand that. And I used a black and a blue in my sample that I'm going to show you that I'm working on. And like I said, you need about a good arm's length of thread to your beading needle, and then have your beads together. And oops. Then we're going to start with the stopper bead if you're more comfortable. You do not need a stopper bead, but if you have not done beading in a while, they're just good. And I'll talk about how to put those on after when we go back and do step by step for those of you that might be new to beading. And then you will go ahead and string 4 of your A's on your thread. So my A's are kind of my silver one here, and my B's are the blue one. And you'll take them to the end and leave yourself approximately 2 inches for a tail. This does not need, unlike some of the others we worked on where you need a large tail, it does not need a long tail. And what we're going to be doing here, this is a twisted herringbone rope. And if you've done any beading before, in fact, as you were coming on, you may have heard me talking to Jane. Herringbone is one of the basics of beading, and it's worked nearly the same way. There's just a small little variation we'll make, and it's just flat, and it's a really pretty weave. So if you cannot get this at some point, then don't worry, we'll just have you do a flat herringbone. The twisted, I think, is also pretty. And it's just got one other little step that you're going to worry about. That said, we're going to start the base with a flat circular herringbone. No twist for a few rows, because when we get ready to put our cap on it, we really don't want to twist. We want it to be flat and straight. And when I was pulling mine together, I did mine the way I was taught a million years ago. And then I did the YouTube search, and there's probably 5,000 different ways to do this. And I thought, no, we're just going to do, so I don't confuse myself, we're just going to do what I normally do. So once you have 4 of your A beads on, then, whoops, then we're going to go back through the first 2 beads. So here were my 4 A's, and then I'm going to go back just through the first 2. So if you remember, when you're doing this, what will happen, and you'll see it on my next slide, is that you will have 2 stacks of 2 sitting next to each other. So, oops, why am I going?
Linda,
Mhm.
how much of a tail do we leave?
Oh, a couple of inches, just enough so that you're holding on to it. So this particular slide shows my stop bead at the end, and then my 4 A beads. And I am using, just to show you this can be done, I am using the cheap beads from Bead Factory. And notice no 2 beads are the same size or shape here. So those of you that kind of enjoy beading, want to do more, but find you don't want to invest a lot of money in it, go to the Bead Factory, and they're what, I don't know, $1.60, $1.70 for a huge pack. And my sample here, I'm using a size 6, which is also a size C bead. If you are buying beads, it's a C, and it's a huge bead. It's one of the hugest, I like that, one of the largest seed beads there that you can get. But you can make this cord in all different sizes. On mine that I showed you, I used an 11, and then this one's going to be a 6 if I finish it. And don't just use it for a sample. You could make this out of anything. You could do little gemstones, you could do crystals, if you can afford it, because it does use a lot of beads. So I put my 4 on, I put my stop bead on, I put my 4 on, and then I went through the last 2 so that I end up getting this stacking. Excuse me.
Belinda, do you use equal number of A's and B's?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Unlike the twisted one we did last session or the session before. I wish I could remember which projects you guys do. You'd think I could remember them since I'm the one who wrote the syllabus, you would think. But you will eventually end up using, and they do suck up a lot of beads. Okay, let me know when you're pretty much at that stage, and then we'll move on.
I'm there.
You're there?
I'll be there in shortly.
Okay, let's give you about 15, 20 seconds.
And as for the stop bead, do you need to like fasten it or?
What you do is you just go through it a couple of times. So you went through it once when you put it on, and then just go through it another time. And it's going to come off, and it's going to come off really soon. So if you can hold that tail in your hand when you're beading, you don't even need to put the stop bead on there. It's just, I'm doing for the next session a beading project, and I rarely use the stop bead. And the other night I was doing it sitting on my chair, and I moved something, and all of the beads came off the end of the thread, and I thought, I knew I should have put a stop bead on on there. So if you are frustrated because they fall off, put a stop bead on. If not, just hold it in your hand. So once you get something that looks like this, we're going to do the same thing with your B color, only we're going to add it. So here was the process picture showing you I went up through the bottom and I got that. And there's my stop bead, and all my stop bead is it went through here and then just around again and out. And now we're going to put on the B bead. So here's what you had in the last step. So now if you're coming down here, so you're coming out here, come over and pick up 2 of your B beads, and then go around again so that you come up out here.
Okay, wait a second.
So you're just going to be making a sort of a chain of these right now. And then we'll fold them together like a taco.
Okay, I'm still working on the stop beads.
That's
Now
all
you
right.
go through do you go through the the first set of the B beads twice?
Whatever it takes to go, yeah, to come around here.
And you
And-
come, so you're coming up, you wind up with your thread coming out of the top of the first set of B beads.
Yeah, coming out of the first set of BBs. And what I found, Jane, is even when I got it all done, I might go through, depending on what I needed to do it with the 6, 11s I didn't, but I might go through all of them again, just retrace,
Okay.
because I want them to set nice and tight together. So
Okay.
if I'm getting a little loopy in here, I'll go through again to get the security, because remember, these first couple rows that you're going to do here are what you're going to put your end caps on. So you want this to be really stable.
So wait a second.
Jesus.
So Belinda, when you have the 4 and you're gonna go in, go through the end of the next 2 again, I'm assuming you'll go through the bottom.
Yeah, I'm theoretically, can you see where my cursor is here?
Yeah,
I should be coming out here. I'll
okay.
come around and add the 2 Bs and come around again.
Okay, that's what I.
Okay.
No, go back up one more. I'm at the A bead still. So I've got the 4 on,
Mhm.
so then
So
I'm
we're-
coming out of the,
Okay, so I'm
am
You're
I
coming
going
out-
to the first set or the second set? I
You're
got
on the-
4.
Oh, you're ready to do the second set?
Yeah, yeah, I've got the 4 A beads on. Where do I go between bead 2 and 3, or I go through 1 and 2 again?
I'm
No, you're
very-
gonna go through 2 and or 3 and 4. So
3
you,
and 4, okay,
yeah, so you come down out of 4 theoretically.
right, and then go back into 3.
Yeah, come down this way and then
Okay.
up this way and then circle again. So you get that nice tension in there.
Damn it.
And then you know, I
That's all
will,
right. I already screwed up the first 4 beads, so we know how this one's going.
I'm not gonna rush you. Once you, this is really easy. Once you get it set up, like everything else.
I don't see what we're doing. I don't get it.
Okay, let me go back. So you started with the 2 beads and then you put 2 more on. So you ended up with 4.
Right,
the
the two are the stop beads, right?
No, 1 is the stop bead. And
Right.
so let me stop sharing. if I
I'm
can-
so sorry, guys. I couldn't find a needle that I could get my fire line through.
No problem. Yeah, and that is the
It
trick.
helps make
sometimes.
your stop bead a totally different color.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay, that's
I've
what.
learned-
yeah, because it will
Right.
come off. So if I wanted to put a stop bead on, so I'm back over here on my camera. Let's grab,
I should use a different color for that. Okay.
yeah,
And bigger.
it
I
just
found
makes,
out
and bigger.
Sure, I can't mess things up, confuse things.
So the process for putting a stop bead on is you just put it on, take it all the way
Yes.
down to the end
Start it over.
and hold yourself, about a 2-inch tail. And then you just come back up through it again.
Okay,
So, and will slide right off. Then you put, I've got samples here and I already have a needle threaded. So let me see if I can build on top of each other. So for those of you that are not seeing it in your mind's eye from my slides. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put 4 of my A beads on. Okay, so I've got the 4 on. I take it all the way to the end. I'm not, because I've got a sample hanging down here. Take it all the way to the end. And then come back up through the bottom 2. And then they will stack next to each other.
Jeez. Okay.
Lord only knows what got my hands in before we got on. So now I really want to get the thread over here, and I want to tighten up anything. And because the fire line is pretty thin with the 6s, so I will just go around another time. Actually, you're going to imagine I'm going around another time, and I'm going to end up down here, because I want to be able to take these off and show you the other pattern in a minute. So here I am. So here was that slide. Let me see if I can get, well, you can't see both at the same time, so that's stupid. So here's, I'm coming out of, if we call these 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm coming out of number 4.
You're too low.
I see it.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to add 2 of my B beads. And I'm going to come around and come down here. And they should line up.
All right. I'm hopeless with this. I'm sorry, girls. I'm gonna have to.
That's okay. Been there, done that multiple times.
All of us have. So
So
don't
come
give
up through
on yourself.
on the first 4, come up to the second 2.
Uh-huh. So you
Mhm.
came, you came out of this. So you went through the second 2, and you're down here where my thumb
No,
is.
I'm not there yet. So I've done the, oh, I see what's happening. Okay. So they're, yeah, they're side by side. Now what?
Okay. So is your thread coming out of the bottom of the second 2? Right here where my needle is?
I'm not sure. I've only gone through the bottom 2, which pulled the other
Made
2
'em-
next to it.
Made them look like that?
Yes.
Okay, so your thread, put your thread down here someplace, and it doesn't matter if it's in this direction or you flip this over. Just get your thread coming out of one of them that's on you, holding on the bottom for you.
Uh-oh.
And then put that up through the other one.
Then put 2 of your B beads on.
No, wait. So I'm
Okay, let me go back where you are,
okay. So
or where you should be. Okay, so you should look like this.
yes.
Okay, and this is the needle thread. This is my tail hanging over here.
Mhm.
So on my needle thread, put 2 of your B beads.
Okay.
Okay, so my 2 B beads are here. And they're going to look like this. So to get them to look like that, I'm going to take my thread that's coming out of the top of those and go back through the last 2 of the A beads. So it looks like when I tighten it up.
Okay. So yeah, the last 2 of the babies.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that I have 3 stacks of 2. Now, see, I didn't go back and tighten these up, and I'm having a heck of a time keeping my tension good because of that. But that's what it should look like. And my thread now is coming out of the A bead, and I want it to be coming out of a B bead. because I'm going to have to add another set of bees. So I'm just going to take my thread and go back up in those bees. So it made that circle that you saw on my PowerPoint. And he'll come up here. And just so I get good tension and it's easier for me, if it's okay for you to just keep working this way, for me, I just
Oh,
usually
shoot.
flip it over.
Okay, all it did was make the first 2 bee beads fall off. I did something wrong, obviously.
Did you have a stop bead on?
I have a stop bead on, and then
Hmm,
I put the 2 green ones on and went back through the first 2 A's. Or the 2 A's that are closest to the green, right?
uh-huh.
And then I tried to go back through, and I undid what I just did. So now I have to do that again because I obviously did it wrong. Okay.
All
We
right.
talked about unfinished beading projects in my closet last week.
Okay, so those of you that have gotten this far, and I don't mind going back and showing it again, we're going to put 2 more bee beads on because we want
This does not look right.
them to stack up here. So I put my 2 bee beads on. I'm going to come around here. If I go back in the same direction, they will fall off. So I want to come back through the bee bead and tighten it up. So I have 4 beads stacked. I have my tail over here
No, this is not right.
and I have the thread coming out of here. So now I need to sew these together, and to do that, I need to get my thread back over here. So I'm going to go just up through the top. Now at this point, do you see
I
how
can't,
loose?
This is not
Loosey-goosey?
going well.
Don't worry about it. We'll get you there. We'll do it step by step. Don't worry. So see how loosey-goosey my thread is? And even when I tension it up this way, it doesn't want to stay when I work on it. So on mine, and you make the decision on yours, but on mine, what I would do, because remember this part is going to be the base of your, where your cap goes on,
But this is
what it's going to look like. And I want that to be really sturdy. So I would take my thread and needle now and just go around all of these. Again, just go back through here, back through here, back through here, so that I end up where I am right now. And that would just reinforce it and just keep tensioning, because I want those to set together nice and snug. If you're not having the problem I'm having where they want to slide away, go for it. So at this point, you're going to fold it over to make what I call a taco. So get my thread out of the way here. I folded it over and I need it to stay there. So I'm going to come back up. I'm coming out of the bottom of my bee or out of the top of my bee beads, the way I'm holding it. If yours is flipped over and it's the bottom, it doesn't matter. Orientation is not important here. As long as once you establish your twist, you stay working on the same side. But now I'm going to come down through my A beads just so I close those up. So when I come down, I have this stack of 4. And again, mine are loose. So I would retrace my thread path so that I end up having a nice snug path of 4. Now, if all of that was Greek, and don't worry, I'm going to go back through all of it again and make sure you're there. But it doesn't matter how you get here, as long as you get here and something looks like this. So if your head is saying, oh, I can do a different way, it doesn't matter. Now later on, so if you're trying to learn herringbone to show up, you'll want to do it the right way. But right here, for our first roughly, probably for you, the first maybe 6 rows, for me, because my beads are so big, the first 4 rows are going to be straight, and it's not going to have a twist, and it's going to be hidden under the end cap. So no one will know if I did it the right way or Belinda's creative way. So I'm going to, while you're doing that, I'm going to take these off again so I can get to the sample I created, because I won't be able to work.
So you go all through all of them, all 4 sets again, right?
I would, just to make sure they're nice and secure. You know, probably I'm
having trouble getting
overthinking
the
it.
thread through the needle or through the.
I
I've gone
probably,
through them a couple times already, and they're a little-
okay. If they're staying together, that's fine. I
Okay.
just don't want to put my end cap on and try to wear them and have it all come loosey goosey. Now, that said, we're going to put a little E6000 glue on there to hold them on, so it won't, you know, it probably would take an act of God for it to come off, but I don't think I have to tell you guys how I over worry my jewelry breaking, falling apart when somebody's wearing it. It wouldn't be bad if it was me wearing it, but there was actually, you guys would have chuckled. There was, can't even remember the name of it because it wasn't that great, but we were watching some spy thing on Netflix last week. And it has, no, it wasn't. It was the story. Sorry, I've got programs confused in my head. It was the story of, shoot, I can't remember that
Yeah,
either.
great.
One of the software, the Spotify, and how it came about, and the trials and tribulations they had of working with the copyright music and the whole bit. But one of the girls that's the lawyer, she goes in, she's becoming the partner in a big firm and trying to decide whether she's going to keep working for Spotify or go back to this cushy job. And she's in the meeting with the board of directors, and her pearls break all over the table. And I thought, oh boy, do I identify with that. But the good news was they were trying, you know, I don't know how much is fiction of this or not, but they were trying to figure out how to make it work where you could just get a piece of music on Spotify without any delay, and how not to have all these servers. And she got this idea that they could do it in sort of a bead fashion where you picked up different things. So she took in all these big beads and had the executives at Spotify bead a necklace. And I thought, oh, well, that was interesting. Okay, so I just undid all of mine that I put on as a sample. And let me go back over to share my screen so we're all looking at that.
Belinda?
Mhm.
This starter stitch that you're doing is called ladder stitch.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of demos on YouTube on doing it. So if someone wants to start later on, or you take your piece apart and you think, how do I do that? There's some very good videos on ladder stitch.
Good idea. And for those of you that are new, a really, really good instructor is Jill Weissman. She has really good videos. So you should have something that looks like that.
Well, mine does not look like that. Unfortunately, I have to take it apart.
And then you fold it and it looks like that.
No.
And you can see on my photograph here, I went through these beads multiple times. You can see how thick the cord is, just so, or the thread is in there, multiple passes just to keep them together.
Yeah, I wonder if I have, because I'm having to do it again because going through the second color,
Mhm.
I broke the beads because I think trying to jam too much thread in them,
Oh, that's possible.
and I'm wondering if I'm using fire. What is it? Wildfire, and I'm wondering if this is too thick.
Oh, interesting. Well, I always use Fireline, so unless
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have any black. That's the thing, and I'm
Oh.
using 15. Oh, that's probably it. This is too thick. Okay, I'm just gonna do this all. Use the other.
with this one, I have a fishing line that I bought at Walmart years ago when we were doing a crystal 3-dimensional heart. And I have, of course, a ton of that because I bought the biggest spool you could possibly buy. And I thought, oh, I could have used that, but I can't get it needs to be on a needle to do the next few steps. And I don't think I would be very adept at doing that. So once you have this, it looks like that from the top down. And then we're going to put a couple more rows on, sort of just in a flat herringbone look or a tubular herringbone look before we start doing the twist. So who needs me to go all the way back to the beginning? Because we can do that. Nobody?
Well, I really am having a hard time. It's not a square. And so I'm taking it apart. And I'm babysitting my friend's West Highland Terrier, and he keeps coming out and barking at me. So he wants me to pay attention to him, and I can't. It's very distracting. He's the cutest little bugger, guys, I swear. He's so cute. But he just has to have attention. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Right now he's locked in the house. I hope it doesn't mean he has to go to the bathroom. So I can show you kind of what I've got.
Okay.
And then
highlight you.
it doesn't look right. But then I've been saying that about all my stuff this week. So it's like sagging. I don't know if you can see that.
No, but I'm trying to figure out how to get over to you.
I think she's spotlighted.
I got to stop sharing to see it. Okay.
Oh.
So
It doesn't make a nice square.
I think you picture one.
So I'm not sure how to get it to a square.
Okay, wait, it's taking me 40 steps to figure out how to do this. Okay, now I'm seeing you big now. Okay. Well, it's kind of looking square from this angle. No, I think you're good.
Okay, so then what do I do? Okay, go back to that other slide.
Yeah.
Sorry for the distraction, girls.
Is everybody where Terry is?
I am.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so
And I figured out it's the bead factory beads that doesn't make it look square because they're not all the same size.
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes. Okay, so on this slide, we're going to start to build our stack. And on this slide, what you're looking at down here, and I could not figure out how to do this in dimensions, so bear with me. These are my gray ones, and these are the two gray ones. And behind them, when I hold my square, I can see the blue ones sort of peeking out. So let me see if I go back to the picture. So imagine this picture. I'm looking at it from this side, and you just barely see the blue on the other side. So don't be confused by this. But what you're going to be doing is coming up now through the gray So you came out through, in my case, the silver over here where
Okay, wait a
my
second.
photo is. And then you're gonna put on 2 more of the A's, come back down all the way through the second set of A's. So what you will end up with is 6 A beads on one side and 4 B beads on the other side of your
Oh,
square.
I've definitely screwed something up there. Okay. All right.
So could you repeat that, please?
You're coming out over here on my photograph. You're coming out of your A bead and you're gonna add 2 more A beads
Okay.
and go down through the next stack of A beads. So over here in the diagram, you went up, added the 2, and went down all the way to the bottom. So you will end up with 6, in my case, silver beads, your case, whatever the A is, on one side of your square, and you just still have 4 of the B beads on the other side right now.
So I went down through. Wait. did I
That
do it?
doesn't make sense.
Oh,
Do I wind
do I-
up?
Do I go back up through them now?
Here, let me go over to my camera.
So I've got 6. And my thread,
4 on one side and 2 on the other.
yeah, I've got 6 on one side, 4 on the other. And I went down through that first set of A beads, and my thread is coming out not far from where my thread started with the stop bead, different bead, that it's on that side. And
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're on which side you are with that stop bead, because that's just your sort of tail. So let's see if I can show
So what
you.
I'm saying is it's on that side. It's I went down, I added the 2, I went down through, and now
Mhm.
do I go back up?
So you added the 2,
Yeah,
and then you're going to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm starting
Yeah.
to build my stack here, but you go all the way down to the bottom.
yep, I'm there.
So yours look like, forget I'm below my thumb, but yours should have 6 of your A beads looking like this.
Yep.
And
Oh, okay.
2 of your B beads on the other side. So when
Yep.
you look at it this way, you have a stack of beads higher with your A beads than you do with your B beads.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's exactly what I've got. And my thread is coming out near where your like bottom thumbnails are there. Yeah, right.
It should be coming out the bottom. Yeah.
So it's
So
of the same color.
of
basically.
yeah, what it came out of, what you added, you come out of. And you're at the bottom, so just pretend that's the bottom.
Yep.
Now go all the way up your B beads. So come over and just go all the way up,
Okay.
and then add 2 B beads. So let me go back to my share screen so you can see.
Thumbs to work. Come on, thumbs.
So here's what I was adding. The 2. And it looks like that.
Okay.
And now, so here are my diagram. Let's see if I move that so you don't see that. I came all the way down my A bead to the bottom. I went up through the 2 blue beads, or the B beads. I added 2 more B beads, and then I'll go down through the next set of B beads. So I'm going to end up with 3 on each of the blue and 3 of the gray, just like So it looks like this. And I came all the way down through the silver again to the bottom.
Okay.
Now, what this is doing, notice, is just keeping a stack. We're just building up a stack to really put our cap on. So it's a nice tight, you should, if you have to go through them again to reinforce it to get the tightness, do that. You want that nice and tight stack. And we're just going to keep building up that stack until we get enough space that we can put the cap on. So if you're using a purchased cap, you might want to pull that out and see if it, number one, if it fits, and number two, if it's going to set in there before we start to do the twist, because we don't want to twist now and not have nice secure walls for our cap. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, because once we start twisting, it's going to not be nice and tight. So the glue that we put on the cap won't hold as well because there'll be airspace in there. So you've got this stack, you're coming out the bottom again. Here's mine. Actually, I turned it upside down. So I'm coming out the bottom. And then we're going to do the same thing. We came out the bottom. We're going to add the 4th row. So I go back and show you what I did. I came out the bottom here. I will add 2 more of the A beads right here and come back through here. And now I would go back one more time through all of them if you can get your needle through it. If you can't, just go as far as you can. So if you can only get down through the first 2 beads, we'll live with that. But if you can go all the way to the bottom and just repeat what you did. So you'll have 4 of the A beads, and then you'll go over to the B beads and do that. So you end up with, here's my 4 stacks of A beads. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the B. So here, to show you what I was saying with, if you could only go through a couple, if I came down here and couldn't get through all of them, I would just come out wherever I could and then come up wherever I could. And I wouldn't go all the way to the bottom this time because it'll start to do a little twist, but I would just like go over 2 and pull it up. If you can get it all the way to the bottom and come up all the way from the bottom.
Okay, I
That's
just
gonna be
realized that the problem with mine is the beads are lying side by side, not stacking up. Not sure how I did that one.
Can you push it? You did do the like taco fold?
Yeah, but I think yeah, I think it's time to go back to the original 4.
That happens sometimes, yeah.
I'm-
Belinda, I went and I got my little cap that I bought, and with the beads I'm having, it fits. The 6 beads I have fits perfectly in the little cap.
Okay,
So
All
should
right.
I go and add an extra layer? to make
yeah,
it
do one
4?
more row, because then you'll have, nobody will see that it's not starting the twist yet, and you'll have the security. So one
Okay.
more stacked row.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
so
we're going to start the twist. So here I have my 4 beads on of both colors. And to get the twist, we're going to make a drop down in which bead we go through. Don't worry, I'll go over this 100 times. But here I added my last 2 B beads. I came out through the one below it. And then I'm going to come up through the 3 of my A beads. And that whenever I come up, I'll be coming up through 3, and that's going to start to give it a twist. So let me show you a couple more slides and then I'll go back and do them for you on the other camera. So every time you come up through A, you're going to come up through 3 beats. This is going to be a forever. Do not break this rule. Your twist will be off. Every time you come up from B, you will come up through 2 beats. And every time you go down, you're going to go down 1 beat. So let me go back to the slide. I went down 1 bead. These were the 2 I added, so forget those. I went down 1 bead, up 3 beads. Is that making sense?
No.
Okay, let me show you. Let me go stop sharing and go over to my other camera. Okay, so get the right sample, Linda. Here I am, basically down here. And I had my 4. There's 4. There's
Could you
4.
move a little? Could you move a little? Thank you.
There you go.
So there's my 4 and my 4. So let's go all the way back to where you are, Belinda, to the 4. Hang on, let me take it out to show you where we're going. And you could put in 5 or 6, it's just whatever works on your cap. Okay. So here was my 4. I added 2. Let me go all the way so you can see it.
Shoot, I put it in the wrong side.
Of course, I get my thread around the wrong post. Forget, I can't, I've got it knotted in there. So forget those 2 that are hanging behind. Here were my 4. I'm going to add the 2. So there's my 2 I just added. I went down through 1. So there's the 2. There's the 1 from the previous time I came in, added the bees. Went through down 1. And now I'm going to go up 3 of the A beads. And it's going to feel, until you get some work on this, it's going to feel a little wonky. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got 5 over here, and he's starting to move over a little bit. And I may have to encourage him, but he's starting to make the twist. So he will eventually, like this one, start to twist. And like this one, start to twist. So I'm coming out of the A bead, just came up 3. I'm going to add 2 more of the A's, down 1. Up 2. Which is why doing 2 colors helps. If you remember, your B is always going to be up 2. Add 2 more of the B beads. Down 1. Every time you go down, just go down 1. Encourage them to go where you want. Up 3.
So the A's, you always go up 3.
Up 3.
You always go
blues-
up 2.
The B's, you always go up 2. And every time you go down 1. And you always keep adding whatever you came out of here. So I'm on the A. I'm going to go down 1. Up 2. Get your needle in there. Add 2 more of the bee beads. Down 1. Straighten them out so you get them where they are supposed to go. Rotate it so you can see what you're doing. Up 3. And can you see where it's starting to twist?
Yeah.
And you basically do that until you get it as long as you want it. And then end the same way you started, just regular, no twist. So when you get done, then you're just going to go through each one. You're not going to go round and go the 2 and 3 route. It'll just be like you did before, where you just went up 1, or because you had the 3 to get it secure. I would just go with the 1, get your 4 rows built on, and then take your thread and go all the way around. Don't worry about finish it till next week. So I want to make sure we all get to this point, and then I need you this next week to make it as long as you need it, with roughly 4 rows short. So if you're, trying to be precise, make sure that you have those 4 rows so we can stack them up at the end, that you've got room for that. If it doesn't matter if it's 4 rows longer, then go as long as you need it. And then we will end it together next week. So we'll just go ahead and finish it if that's confusing, because quite frankly, getting started is the hard part on this. So I want to make sure you all can do that before I say, go for it the rest of the week. So who needs me to go back to the beginning and start all over again?
Belinda, not back to the beginning, but could you go back 1 slide where you have the printed words about up, down 1, up 3? I'd
Yeah.
like to take a photo of it. One
Oops.
more. There you go. Thank you.
Mhm. Have you not made the twisted herringbone before?
I have done straight herringbone. I've done spiral herringbone. I have not done a twist.
Oh my. All the beautiful beadwork you do, I would have thought this would have been part of your repertoire.
This is straight herringbone
Oh, wait a
with a
minute.
pendant, and then adding larger beads.
I have to stop sharing to see you,
Okay.
and then
So,
highlight you.
I need to go back to where we're adding the 4th bead.
Let
I've
me
got a
put,
nice little
let's,
group of 3 in a square.
oh,
and
look at
how-
Pat. Claudia, hold
Oh
on
my
just a
God,
second.
that's
Pat's sharing.
beautiful.
Look at her beautiful
Wow.
piece. Oh, that is gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
And the stone is so pretty too. It just,
Yeah.
That's straight herringbone, and then the larger crystals is still herringbone stitch, just stacked with larger beads.
Wow.
But I have
that's
not done the
great.
twist.
twist. Oh, like I said, I would have thought. So, okay, Claudia, let me go over to you and
All
let's
right,
see what
so
you're,
I've got, well, I don't know if you're actually going to be able to see it because I'm doing gray and silver. So I'm coming out the top of the silver one. That's my B bead.
okay,
And I've got there are 3 high on each one.
okay,
Um,
All right.
and so I'm coming out the B bead. Now,
And
do I add 2 more B beads?
okay, it was at the first, you're coming out the first B bead. The
Uh,
first of the last row you just added. It's the
Yeah,
first-
yeah, I'm
Okay,
coming out where
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
my tail there.
yeah. Now you add 2 of your B beads
Add
and just repeat what you did before. So you add the 2, go down 1,
Wait a second.
and then up 3 of your A's, which is your next one.
Wait. I'm getting a couple beads on here. So I'm adding 2 more B beads.
And go down the second of the B beads, just down 1.
Just down 1, okay.
And then up 3 of your A beads.
Oh, but I'm not ready to start the twist yet. I don't have
Oh, you're,
more hide is what I'm saying.
oh, okay. So yeah, okay. So you went down 1, now go over 1 on your A bead and come up 1 on your A bead.
On my A bead, okay.
Now I am assuming by saying you come up 1 that yours is nice and secure. If you felt like you needed to make it more secure, you go all the way to the bottom of that stack and come all the way up.
Yep, I already did that.
You did that. Okay. So come up 1 of your A beads, add 2 A's, go down 1 A, up 1 B, add 2, just repeat what you just did until you're ready to start your twist.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Any-
Belinda, I've got 8 and 8 even. I'm ready to start the twist. So I add 2 and then I go down.
Down
1.
1.
Okay.
Okay.
On
now
my A.
You're okay. You're adding A right now, or you're adding B?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
You're
in,
adding
I'm in A and I've just come all the way up, all 4 beads. I've added 2
2 A's. You went down 1.
A
Yeah, down your 1 A.
on the other side. Okay. And then up 3
Up 2 on your B's.
on the first one.
When you're ready to stack your B's, you
Yeah.
go up 2 to get those. When you're ready to stack your A's, you go up 3.
Okay.
Okay. And you always go down 1.
Linda, can you show from the taco part, making the taco? Because I had to redo it twice because my beads broke.
Yeah. Let me share the screen. All right, come on. Let me share. And then I'll go back to the slide. Okay, so here's I had my B beads and my A beads, and I folded the taco together.
Okay,
went-
so there were 4 A's and 4 B's
Correct.
folded together. Okay, but mine
Yeah.
are so tight, they're not folding. That's the problem. I made it too tight. So I'll have to do that again.
Okay, yeah, you got to get them. And I didn't have any trouble with 11s, but I'm guessing if I was using a 15, it would be, I'd probably want to compensate by doing, when we just did the 2 here, I'd probably do 3 for my original stack, if it were a 15, but I don't want to confuse you guys, so. You might be confused enough without me throwing that at you, so. Okay, anybody else need, well, Marcia's getting that put together. Anybody else need questions, or? You're all doing okay? Jane, how are you doing? You're muted, Jane.
Stupid dogs. I gave up.
Oh.
I had the same problem the other lady did. My beads broke. I got to the taco, and then you guys were past that, and I have to see it to do it. So, reading doesn't do it for me. So
You know,
Yeah,
we
I
are
already-
going to
I
be,
have I have 8 beads in a little square right now.
boy, that's what you should have.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do after that.
Okay, so it looks like let's go the right way, Belinda.
Yeah.
Yours looks like that right now?
Yeah,
Okay, so on the string that's coming out of the A beads, put 2 more A beads.
okay, well, let me get, I'm coming out of a B bead, let me,
Okay, doesn't matter, then put 2 B beads
Oh.
on.
2 B beads, okie dokie.
Two
And
of the
go,
same color, right?
yeah, whatever color you just came
Okay.
out of right
Oh,
now.
okay, all right,
And then
All
go down the next B bead all the way to the bottom. So you'll come here, forget that mine shows gray, your whatever color yours is, and go
Okay.
all the way to the bottom.
okay, so I have four beads on one side. Or, oh, actually, 6 beads, look at that. Okay,
So you have 6 on each side, I mean, on that side.
on that side, yes.
Okay, so now go over to your A bead, the
Mhm.
bottom. If you went all the way to the bottom, go
Yeah.
over to the A bead, come all
Come
the
up.
way up to the top
Okie dokie,
and add. So here's what you just did.
okay,
Here's where you
add
are.
2 more,
Add 2 of your A beads
okay,
and go all the way to the bottom
Yeah.
of the second
other
A
one,
bead.
okay. Alrighty,
And then, so here's what you should have right now.
yeah,
Okay. So then you're gonna, does your cap fit on that, or,
yeah, it will, mhm.
okay, is it longer than that, or? Because what we did is we went ahead and repeated that one more time. So that we,
No, I think that'll be it right there.
okay, so you're coming out of a B bead, right, for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, let's call it an A bead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is an 8 bead, but okay, I'm coming out of the bottom of one of the colors, the first color.
Okay, so put 2 of those colors on. I'll go all the way up to the top or wherever.
Okay, go back through the other column and go up to the top.
Mhm.
Oops.
Now, whatever bead color you're coming out of,
Uh-huh,
forget A and B, just same one.
yeah.
Put
mhm.
2 of those on and go down through the first one of the next color. So can you see my cursor here? If I'm adding 2 beads here, I'm gonna come down just through this.
Just one bead, okay.
Yeah.
Come on. There we go. So, okay, I add how many of the next color?
2. You're
2.
always adding 2,
All right,
and you're
I'm
always
only gonna go down,
1.
1.
did I go down the same color or
Yeah.
the?
Mhm.
Okay, one, whoops, where is it? Let there be light, oh, there it is, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so here's what you just did. You can see my cursor. You came out this one.
yeah,
Okay, so the next one you're gonna come up to of the next color. So in my case, it's the B color. I'm coming up the 2 next to it. So you came out right here and you're just gonna come up 2. And you're gonna add 2 of this color and come down 1 on the other side.
okay, all right.
Okay, and then you rotate it again
Mm-hmm,
and you're ready to work that first color, in my case, silver. And whenever I'm coming up my silver one, which is my A bead, I'm gonna come up 3. So instead of
Okay.
coming up these 2, I'll come down and come up the third one. So
okay,
every time I use this color, this is an always, don't break this rule. Every time I come down, I come through 1. Every time I come up this color, I come up 2. Every time I come up this color, I come up 3.
okay,
And every time I go down, no matter what color it is, it's 1.
okay,
It's a really easy pattern once you get here.
Okay,
Getting here, getting those stacked up and right can be, I know, a bit of a challenge.
okay,
Okay, got it?
yeah.
Good. Anybody else need to see a slide or have a question?
Can I see the next slide with all the writing?
Whoops, if I go the right way.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And a different color bead should never wind up on the a different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
Unless
gotta-
that's your pattern, if you could do this in multiple colors and just mess them up, I mean,
That may become an option here.
it would be a really interesting pattern to do multiple colors. So, there's nothing wrong in any of this. It's just, what do you like? But if you're intending to have like my sample where you got one color and mixing with another color, yeah, you shouldn't be, you should always have the two together. Now there's another pattern when you're looking at Jill Weissman's YouTube videos, and if you go there for help, I think it's her. They do 3 stacks. They do a triangular twist. And so where we just did 2 stacks, they add a third one, and that's beautiful. I just thought adding a third one might really confuse you. So after you do this one, I think for another project, you might want to do the third one and enjoy doing that.
Well, we did a twist at one time. I think it was us who did it but we moved the, we moved the whole stack around. And I
Yeah.
don't,
Now that's, is that what Claudia, you're trying to show us?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jane had one too earlier.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's
Never
just a spiral stitch. That well, I'll defer to Pat, our beading person. I just know that as a spiral stitch. Is there another fancy name for that, Pat?
I don't know, but somebody should teach us how to finish these because I have no clue what to do with it.
Well, do you want to put end caps purchased, or like we're going to do next week for?
I have no idea. If that makes sense.
We'll have it available and your 20 or 18 gauge wire next week.
Okay.
Or, yeah, and we'll talk about it. Because you can do the same thing we're gonna do here. That's what I did on all of mine, because I was too lazy to be creative than other. And I actually like making these ends better than purchasing them. They just are
Well,
easy.
somebody from the UK, because I had said something on one of my sites, actually sent me a couple of months ago their version of directions for those. And I watched her do that and I thought, that was so much simpler than making the cone shaped ones and having to add
Oh,
wires and everything. I mean, she just went like.
Yeah.
You know.
well, all of these, what these are,
Stood it up and then went twist, twist, twist. And I went, oh my God, and the hook is already there. I was like,
what these are, the one that I did before, that like Claudia was showing you last week, you do put the loop on it and then coil around it. But what this is a coil like you made last week. And the trick, of course, is to find the right mandrel that'll fit on your rope. And then you leave yourself an end and spiral it. So there's a spiral.
oh,
that
she
tops it off.
was doing, let me see if I can find, where's my notepad? She did a spiral. Probably better if I do it in a big marker. She just did a spiral and left a place for it to like that. I
Let
gotta see
me
where we're
highlight
at.
you.
Like that. And then she bent it down at a 90-degree angle,
Yeah,
did the,
and coiled it.
and coiled it, and it
Yeah.
was like,
It's the same thing, only it's,
oh my God, how simple was. would
I
have never
just did my
thought
coil
about that.
first and then the spiral. So she just did the same thing. In fact, maybe I'll try her technique and see if it's easier.
I saved it on my Pinterest page, so I can't tell you where it's at, probably under either classes, tutorial. I think I put it under try this. You know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
okay,
Can I
Start
ask you a question?
Sure.
Because I'm working with these size 11s,
Mhm.
I put a stack of 5 here. That's 5/16 of an inch. Should I add a little bit more, or is that good enough?
Well, it's all in relation to how long you want your end. Now, if you're making the ends that we're going to make in class, you can make it as long as you want it. If you were happy with it that length, you're good. You can start the twist. If you're not happy with that, you need to add until you are happy.
Okay. So I guess
I'm never going to be happy.
I'm never going to be unconfused, so.
I'll be mildly pleased. So I'm ready to start my twist.
Hmm.
Coming up through the B bead.
Okay.
So I add 2 B beads, right?
Yeah, if you come up through your first B bead, right? Not the second. Yeah, you're coming up, yeah, through the first, yeah. So add,
So
you're coming out of a B and right next to it is another B.
yeah,
Okay, so go down that next B through 1.
okay. Okay.
Now come up 3 of your A's.
I don't have 3 to go up through.
You don't have a stack of 3 on there now? I thought we just said you did.
I don't have 3 to go up through. I only have 2.
Okay, and your twist, you're starting your twist, right?
Yeah, I want to start the twist.
Okay. No, you've got 3. I can see them. Your A bead
So I went
down 1.
This is the B bead right here. It's the
Yeah.
shiny silver.
Okay.
Went down 1, so I've got now there are 2 beads above this thread coming out.
Okay, but now you're going to the next color. Come up through 3 of the next color.
But I only have 2.
No, you have 3. I can see you've got a stack that's at least 3.
Well, wait, I would have to go down 1 more
Yes.
B bead.
Yes, you drop down, and that's what's going to get the twist, to go up 3.
Okay, so I couldn't go down just 1. I had to go down 2.
Yeah, let me share my screen to show you again. Oops.
Oh, that's okay, because now I have a ball on the end of mine. Oh.
Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so here's what's happening, Claudia. You're confusing yourself, which is easy to do on these. So let me come back out of 3 without, see if I can not tangle it up. So I come out of this 2. So this is what I added.
Okay,
I went down through this 1,
yeah.
and now I'm going to come down through 3 of these and come up. So I'm coming out here theoretically, mine's in a knot, and I'm going to come up through 3. Let me do the next row and show you, because it won't be knotted there. Okay, I'm on this one. So on this one, I'm going to add, like Carol said, you always add the same color. So I'm going to add 2 of the silver. Every time I go down, I just go down 1. And now I've got to come up 2. So my thread is going to drop down and make me feel weird, because normally we go straight across, But the B color, I go up 2. So here's where you are. You added the 2.
So wait, your thread, was it directly across from?
No,
like-
it dropped down. Hang on, I'll put the 2 on here and show you again. Okay, so here's where it was. It came out of the, I added this row, tighten it up. I went through the 1.
Okay,
I came over so I could go up through 2.
okay.
Okay, so I'm up through 2. Now, I think this is where you are right now on yours. I'm going to add 2 more of the bees, go down 1, just down 1. And now, don't get them caught up or you'll be unhappy. I'm going to come up through 3 of the next one. So here's 1, 2, 3. And notice how it's dropping down, which is what creates the twist. So there's the 3. And it's going to go up, and then just try to encourage your twist, because the first couple rows, it doesn't know it's supposed to twist. Now I know I'm in the silver. I'm going to add 2 more of my A beads. I know every time I go down, I just go down 1. I'm going to rotate it because I'm going to do the next color. And every time I go up through a B to add a B, I'm coming up through 2. So
Okay, when you add the 2 beads, 1 goes in each stack.
1 goes in each stack. Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying to get 2 in each stack. No wonder mine.
That
messed
might
up.
be an interesting design.
Yeah, if you can keep them untangled.
Something tells me that that's something you've experienced. Okay.
No kidding. That might solve my problem. Thank you.
So here I am with the B bead again. Down 1. Straighten them up so that you get them stacked on top of each other. Up 3 of the A's. So down 1, up 3 of the A's. Add 2 A's, down 1, up 2 of the B's. And you can really see on my my tail's here in the way. On my big beads, you can really see that twist starting to happen. On the smaller one, it may take you an inch or so more, but here you can start to see that twist. Okay. Did that help, Claudia?
I think so. Yeah.
And like I said, once you get it and you just tell yourself that little mantra, down 1, up 2 B's, down 1, up 3 A's, down 1, up 2 B's. You just keep repeating it. That's not to say that occasionally I haven't had to go back and take some out, because it gets almost too rhythmic, and then you make a mistake.
And you always add 2 beads.
I always add 2 beads for this pattern.
So one set of colors goes down 3, but the other set goes down 2.
No, both sets go down 1. One set goes up 3 and one set goes up 2. So down is always 1.
Okay,
Up
so
will
then,
be 2 or 3 depending, and don't
Color.
screw up your colors. So don't do up 2 on your B bead and then shift over to up 2 on your A bead, because your twist, well, it might be a different twist, but it's not going to be the twist that we're working on.
okay, up 2, no, up 3. E. But then I wind up with a thread hanging out that's very visible.
Tension it, tension it. Can you see on my slide here, or my desk, mine that I'm working on? Can you see that part?
Yeah.
Where is mine? Right here, you can see those threads in
No,
there.
I've got threads that are like carrying over 2 beads or. we're
Tension them, tension it. It's all in tension.
Mm.
But you'll
Parts of
never
my
avoid it so
size.
that you can't see a little bit of it, because even on my, I don't think you can see my cursor on my, when I'm sharing my screen, but I can see through the 4th and 3rd beads here, my thread. That's kind of the bad thing about putting that up here on the screen too, as you can see, huge. Where when you're wearing it, no one's going to see it.
Oh, no, these everybody would see. That's why I'm asking. At least I figured out one of my problems.
Oh, good.
Okay, now that I just twisted everything. Oh, I'm getting good at threading the needle though.
That's a victory in and of itself. I have spent minutes. I did see a hack on something. I haven't tried it out yet, that said, I don't know if it's just, if it'll work with the tiny little needles that we use or not, but it said, if you're sewing, take a toothbrush and set it, new toothbrush, not your used one, but set it up so that the bristles are up. Put your thread across the bristle and put the needle down on the bristle, and that'll push the thread through the eye. And I thought, I'm going to have to try that, because
It doesn't work.
doesn't work.
I don't know how they got it to work, but I looked at that and I went, wow. Now that didn't work so well. And I can't imagine it working on these tiny
Yeah,
needles.
that's why I haven't tried it, and I haven't done any hand sewing since I saw that, but I keep thinking I should pull out a clean toothbrush and experiment.
It might work really well on, something with like an embroidery needle,
Mhm,
but
yeah,
I can't get it to work on, or I couldn't anyway. So, okay. We're going back and starting over again. The good news is I can at least see what I'm doing these days. This was the best thing I ever found. Life is wonderful when you can see.
yeah. Yes.
Okay, add 2, go down 1. Come up 3. All right, the come up 3 part is where everything, the string starts to show.
I see, that's what confused me. I think so. I think what she's saying is that it's going to be, that string is going to be diagonal. It's not
Yes.
going straight across.
Yes.
That's why I thought I was doing it wrong. I thought, how can this be?
Yeah. Yeah. No, the diagonal is what causes the twist. But I found I did have trouble when I first did this years ago with getting the tension right. And it is a matter of tensioning, giving it a little tug to tighten up those threads. But still, then you're still going to see a little bit if you get in there and really look.
Yeah, because I always thought the whole point of this was not to have the threads show.
Well, you don't want huge threads, but now this is gray and I use the smoke color. So I don't know if you can see them, but like, get it focused, Belinda. Even on this little one, I can see those threads when I get up and look at it, but I don't think anybody's going to get up that close. Well, here, you might be able to see them even a little better because it's, can you see
Yeah,
the
mine aren't small diagonal like that. Like I say, mine openly cross beads.
So let's go back and talk about where you're having a problem, where it's starting.
If you want to see it, where's
Okay.
my,
Let me highlight you.
I mean, right now I've got it loose, but see where they're openly,
Oh, wait a minute. Hold it up. It's too far below. When you're going, are you
So-
working in the same color on those or?
no, they're two different colors. One's matte and one's shiny, because I thought that would help.
Your thread path is perfect, so I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, let me
In
get my
In
pointer.
terms of, can you pull
So-
it tighter? Because your thread path is doing exactly what it should,
That's-
down one,
that
up
is what
three.
it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. If you're
Wow.
going to a different color and they look like the same color to me, so that's why I can't tell. You went down one and then you're
Yes.
coming up three of the next color. Oops. Flipped.
Get it back, it flipped.
Okay, up.
Oh, now it's flipped again. All right. Quit
I was gonna say,
flipping
I don't see thread at all on that one.
there. Up. It doesn't want to be seen. It's embarrassed.
Yeah, no, that's just tension. So take it back to the first place that you've got, because you came down one, up. Well, that second one below it, I think you missed it coming up. The one on the top, I can see is fine. The one below it, I can't see where it goes into the next color, up the three on it.
You know what? Maybe if I pin this,
And hold that taco, together more. See if you can hold it.
see if I pin it, you can see it better instead of my trying to hold it.
Okay, not the first diagonal, but the run right below it. Show
Yeah.
me where it's going in the next bead.
Goes in. God, I need my real pointer back, not trying to do it this way. I
Or
got-
a pin or something, yeah.
It's going in down there.
Down where?
Okay. It's going in. Yeah, down the second bead is going, so it's, oh, Carol, come on, get this to stay
So
straight.
it should be going up through the one.
It's going, literally going in the second bead.
Yeah, it should. Are you sure it's not caught on something? Because I'm not seeing where, I mean, obviously over Zoom, I may not be seeing it very
It's
well.
going in between the first and second bead here.
And that's where it should be. And then it came up, but it looks like there's a loop on it instead of going in.
Well, I've opened it up a little bit so you
Okay.
could see what I was doing, but it just, when I tighten it
Oh, you
down,
know what? This is an easy fix. I can see exactly what happened. When you came down for that second diagonal, your needle, before it went up the three, got caught under the thread below it. It looks like it's wrapped right around it. So if you take that your first diagonal out from the top down, looks like the last diagonal, and see where the needle's going on that one.
there,
I
can you,
Think it was caught
it
on.
looks like a gigantic X.
Yeah, because you got the needle and the thread wrapped around the one before it, and that made the X. And that's keeping you from being able to tension it.
That would make
If that
sense.
works.
We'll try. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm amazed if I could see it that well, trust me. That's
Yep.
a huge complaint I have about doing things on Zoom. Yeah,
Okay, so we are going to take this out and try it again. Like I said, I'm finally getting good at threading the needle. Also, I found my better needles.
well, at least you're threading it. I usually try to just backtrack it, and sometimes that makes
I
it more of a,
did, and then I would be doing this with new thread.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna see if I can replicate what I think you did.
Okay, everything is out. Okay, so we're back to the beginning of the twist. Well, it took me forever to learn the spiral, so this is not surprising.
Yep. When you do that, you get an X in there. Pretty sure that's going to do it.
Oh, I think it's time for a new end on the thread.
I run out of blue. Yeah, I did what I think you did, and you do get an X, and you can't get the tension right.
Okay.
So let's see when you undo it if I'm on the right track at all.
Belinda, I have 2 questions.
Yes,
When it
ma'am.
comes time to do a new thread,
Oh,
how
yes.
do you do that?
Okay, let's do one.
Somebody got that far. Wow,
No,
congratulations.
I haven't. I'm just getting preemptive.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's say right here I'm running out of thread.
Okay,
I would do a couple of things. First of all, I would go back down a bit to reinforce, just a
okay,
few. Remember which one you came out of though, because you don't want to throw your twist off. So
sure.
sometimes I get carried away, and then when I want to add the new thread, I forget where I came. So come down and then give yourself a couple of knots in here. So put your needle around the thread in here
Okay,
and make your loop and just come through it and knot it. Now, the trick is to make sure when it knots up that it goes back in the same slot and doesn't catch on a bead, and then you have a knot that you can't get out and it's ugly. So I got it in the same slot and just tighten it up. I would do that a couple of times.
okay,
Then take your whatever's left on your needle and just run it back through a few. So you've got a tail that's hidden, and then
sure.
cut that off so you can't see it. Then the next one, so you want to add over here where I just
Right.
came out, thread your needle, come down a bit. So run your needle a few, you can either do it this way or I'll give you another option in a minute, but run your needle through a few beads down below where you want to add it. Hold your tail so you're not pulling it out. Make a couple of those knots again,
Okay,
and then come right back up and carry on.
okay, cool.
So
And then the other thing is, I know this is really a crazy question. I ended up, I'm using 11s just because I turned out that the other beads I was going to use, they weren't the same size. And to match my pendant, I had to go down to 11s. I'm afraid I don't have enough. Do you have a sense of how many beads this thing takes?
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, no, I didn't count them. Um,
I'm not even sure what my little packets here, how much they hold.
so
Looking.
there's a couple things you can do, and then I'll throw it open to anybody that ever has another suggestion. You can sort of figure out, if you want, how many beads you have, and figure out how many it takes to make an inch on your spiral, because you probably have an inch done.
Right.
And then you can figure out if you have enough. Okay, so for,
Yeah, because they sold it by weight.
yeah,
So yeah, I have no idea.
yeah, me either. And that's why I'm saying, and then if you don't have enough, so I left them upstairs, but I'm working on another one that I wanted to do. Can't even remember what I actually wanted to do with it. And I ran across them yesterday. But let's say I don't have enough for 3 inches. I need to add 3 more inches. I would
Mhm.
make it, divide that. However, let's say I'm going to do 18 inches. Okay, I'm just making up numbers here, but I'm going to make an 18-inch cord. I only have enough to do 15 inches.
Right.
So I'm going to put a 1/2 inch or an inch bead stack in between each segment. So I would do the math. So if I've got, I need to make 15 inches, and let's say, hang on, let me mute myself for a second so this phone doesn't. Okay, so I would bead it whatever I need, and then put as many regular beads. I would do a rosary wrap with wire,
Uh-huh.
and or just string them on with your fire line if you don't want to put a metal in there, and then pick up and do another segment as long as you were doing an inch or whatever you figured out with the math you needed to do, and then more beads, so that I can use 3 inches of beads basically interspersed throughout it. So similar to what I did here, but I didn't do that because I was running out. I had plenty of these, but I got to the length I wanted, and then I didn't do any wire wrapping, but I just added a bead. So I added a single bead. If you needed to use up, let's say 1/2 inch or however long you wanted, you could add either bigger beads or a string of them, and then just start over again. But you don't have to start with the stacked again, with the untwisted. Just
Right.
start twisting on the other side like I did here,
Okay.
and then do that all the way around. But you're going to unfortunately have to do some math to figure out how long those segments would need to be and how many beads you need to put in there. Now, you may be lucky because the beads, I played chicken with beads a lot this week, and the beads, I think, oh, I don't have enough, and they're deceiving.
Okay.
I
I think
have-
I'm just gonna keep going, and then if it turns out that I don't have enough, I'll add to the either tail.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. But
Well,
that gives
actually,
me an idea.
if you're going to do something like this, that's a really good thought. This is, my one that I made, caught up, but I made it to go where it closes in the front.
Right.
So I could make these as long as I ran out till I ran out of beads. And then I
Right.
could put either like the components we're going to make for the next project in here, or beads or jump rings, or
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So just keep going until I finish, and then
Yeah,
see
either
what I
till you
got.
get it the length you want or you run out of beads.
Okay.
Belinda, weren't we going to put in copper beads?
If you want to put them in, like I did on mine, work it as long as you want, the segment as long as you want. And then before you do the next row, just run your needle and your fire line or wildfire through whatever copper bead or crystal bead or whatever you want to put on, and then just pick up again, add it to, and add. So you basically, when I said you're not doing your stack, you need to have 4 beads on there lined up, and then just carry on with the twist. Do as long as you want, add another bead, as long as you want, add another bead. I figured out mine so that my necklace, my pendant, sat in the middle between 2 beads. And then I made sure, because I wanted the symmetry, that my segments were the same on each side. Now, if you don't care for symmetry and just randomly want to put in beads, yeah, you could do that. So that's another option. Another option is you could make, and maybe that's, I'm trying to figure out why, what I found when I was looking for some other beads is about 6 segments, actually the same color, about maybe 3 inches long. And I thought, what did I do that? Why did I do that? But you could do end caps like this on the end of each of those segments and use that as a design element. So you basically have something about that long in between each of your bead sections, or chain. You could put chain in there, or you could just make jump rings. So if you don't have, enough of the beads, you could do that easily.
Belinda?
Mhm.
If you have enough of one of the colors,
Mhm.
you're using 2, but let's say your blue ones are the short ones,
Mhm.
and you have enough black or silver or whatever, you can add straight herringbone to the original end, because these are going to go in the back,
Mhm.
most likely. And you can add straight herringbone in one color on each ends for your 2
Excellent
inches or whatever you
suggestion.
need.
Excellent suggestion. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So,
then you have a beautiful spiral that goes into plain 1 color herringbone.
good suggestion. I love throwing the things out to all of you, because if you think long enough, you can come up with 20 different options. But I have played chicken this week with my beads. So, and fortunately I won, but that doesn't mean it always happens that way. Okay, parted my hair on a different side today, and now I don't know which way to go to straighten it out. So you're going to have to live with me like this. I've been parting it on the right for 40 years and decided, oh, let's try it on the left, I think. Okay, well, it's 12:30. So time flies when you're having fun. So before we leave, do we have any questions? Anybody totally lost? Oh, let me put
Little
Shelley
loss
up.
never
Shelley's
stopped
got
us
the piece
before.
here. Let's see, Shelley. Oh, look at you, girl.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh,
I see what you mean about, picking the different colors. It would have been completely confusing otherwise. And I think I'm running out of beads, so I might just even stop here. I don't know. I can't decide.
those would make interesting earrings.
Earrings, that's what you read my mind. It's fun. It was hard to figure it
Or
out
s-
at first, but once you get it, then it all kind of makes
A
sense.
centerpiece for a bracelet, that would be pretty
Oh,
too.
yes, yes. And Claudia, you have one you want to share?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
doing shiny and dull.
Yeah,
What I did was shiny and dull.
nice.
That's really nice. Those are tiny beads too.
Yeah, they're 11s.
Wow.
Anybody else have something? Oh,
Eh,
Shireen's got one. Let me get over here. Can't see. Oh, oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yes.
like the colors.
Yes.
Is it kind of like a copper in there?
It's, let's see. Wild berry and galvanized.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So it's like a red and gray, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
Oh, it's
pretty.
better now. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. That's
You
gonna
girls
look
are so
cool.
talented. Okay, do we
I
have?
have
This is
one.
fun. I've never done anything like this before.
Oh, good. Okay, let's see. Janice, I need to.
Oh,
highlight.
wow, you made a lot of
wow.
progress.
Because I want to put this.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
great.
That looks.
Yeah, I've had this a long, long time.
Oh,
These
beautiful.
are 11s.
Look at that.
Oh,
Tiny.
but look
thing.
at how much you've done.
Yeah.
you-
Despite that I'm watching my neighbor's dog who chewed up a sock already, ate one of my flowers. I mean, ugh,
Have you done this before?
what?
This
This-
spiral?
No,
This twisted?
no.
You
Mm-mm.
just learned that today and made that much?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a fast
Once you
learner.
get in the rhythm, it goes pretty fast.
Yeah, it does. It's the first stack to wrap your head around that. And then once you sort of realize up 3, down 1, up 2, down 1, it gets crazy. Anybody else have one? Pat's got one. We're going to highlight Pat. Oh, nice. You're muted.
I can't see. Pat isn't pinned.
Pat's not pinned?
No, I don't see Pat.
Silver and
Okay,
gold.
let me change her from a pin to a spotlight. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Was that like silver and gold?
Silver and gold.
wow. And
I
you
try
made,
to make a lot of my ropes in neutrals unless I have a specific stone or piece that I'm going to add it to, because then I can add this to most anything I've done.
nice. And you've made a lot of progress too. So good for you.
Yeah, once I saw the pattern, but I've done a ton of herringbone. It just, 2 versus 3.
Right, right. Anybody else? Okay, so next week, what we'll do is we'll finish these off. So what I'd like you to do is have your rope as long as you want it. And then I'll show you how to make the end caps and we'll be finished with it with the rope. So I think what we'll do is start the following project also. So it'll be like 2 projects in 1 week. And the following project we're going to make, let me go back over to my camera. This works. We're going to make this pendant. So you need your heavy wire will make this part of it and maybe this part. So you could make this in 18 and 20. You could make this in 16 and 18, depending on the look you like. I made 18 and 20. So it depends on your preference for the bulkiness of it. I think the next one, I think the one I'm going to make in class, I will go to 16 and 18, just so I have a different look, but it depends on what you want to do. So we'll start with the base and get it set up, and then the following week we'll finish this and then start working on some of the various components for the chain. So anybody have any questions about that project or what they need or need to do? Okay, well, I guess we'll call it a week. So it was so good seeing all of you again. If you have questions,
Okay.
email me and we'll work it out. So you're all doing really well. I'm so impressed with each of you. So
Nice to see you all. Have a great one. Thanks,
Bye.
Amanda.
Good to see
Weird.
everybody.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.